What is up, guys? Amp here, bringing you some Battlefield 1943 gameplay. What is this? I have to say that every time, don't I? So, I'm playing some Battlefield today, and I'll get to exactly what I feel um, about this game in a little bit, but like I always do, I kind of want to talk a little bit about what's going on with the channel first before we get into the gameplay. So, what I wanted to talk about first off is I'm sorry that I didn't get anything up last week for you guys. It's just been crazy trying to get all this job stuff worked out, and then I'm also trying to get some school stuff figured out as well. So bear with me, and we'll see how it goes in the coming weeks. Hopefully, once get into a rhythm, be able to get some more stuff out for you. Alright, so first off, look for a video pretty much once a week, and it's either going to be a Monday show or a Friday. I can't guarantee either or, unless it's via Twitter or something like that. Just make sure you keep up with me on Twitter. It's down in the description if you don't know it. And just look there, and if you feel like you missed a video or something like that, I'll be posting either Monday or Friday. And this will be kind of going back and forth between regular commentaries like this one today, or sort of like a Amp's Halo Quest. I have Portal 2 co-op gameplay, live voices to be posted soon, and I also have some Call of the Dead Zombies live voices to be posted as well. So I'm going to kind of mix those up together. You'll be able to see some of those coming in a few weeks. I just have to get them all compiled. It's a little bit tougher to get that stuff edited now that I add the intros onto it, and it's a whole extra step and a couple hours of rendering. So that's why things take so long, and it's kind of been screwed up the past couple weeks. Alright, so let's move on to some ideas for upcoming commentaries. I was thinking about this earlier today. I kind of want to move into, obviously for special ones like this, like I'm playing some Battlefield, I'm going to talk about Battlefield mainly. But for regular commentaries, like in some Black Ops or in some Reach, what do you guys think about me doing some stuff about TV, like my favorite TV shows and stuff? Because I definitely have a couple I want to talk about. Same thing with movies, and also commentators on YouTube slash other main big YouTubers, like names like Philip DeFranco and stuff like that. If you guys are interested in hearing about any of that stuff, let me know in the description. I also want to talk a little bit more about how the Game Battles team is going and our plans for the future. I have some news on that, which will be coming up, I guess, in my next commentary, since I'll try to do that one on Black Ops. So, alright, that's about it. Oh, I have one more thing before move on. I will be doing some live voices with my current team in Black Ops, so look for some of those competition games or team scrims or something like that in the future as well. I'll have to actually get in the groove and start doing those, but you should see those pretty soon as well. So, let's move on to the gameplay today. When I say gameplay, I sort of mean the franchise that I'm playing, because I'll be talking mainly about Battlefield 3 coming out in the fall / holiday, and I'll also be talking about some of the other first-person shooters coming out and comparing them to the Battlefield franchise. But I first want to talk about Battlefield 1943, which you see me playing right now. It takes place obviously in the Pacific. A couple of the big major battles in the Pacific: Guadalcanal, Wake Island, and what was the other one? I don't remember exactly. I haven't played this game enough to know them. If you guys remember me talking about Shizzy, he just adores Battlefield, so this is one of his favorite parts of the Battlefield series, just because it's such a good game for such a cheap price. Because it's actually technically an arcade game, but I can see how they make it an arcade game, because it's only 3 maps you get to play on, plus the air superiority, which is just solely plane battles off of aircraft carriers, and it's on a specific map as well. I don't remember the name of the map, but 3 maps for regular. I don't even know what to call this game type. I'm pretty sure it's just like the default Battlefield game type. So you pretty much just capture the flags, seeing the capture points, and once you do that, the more spawns that you have, the more opportunities you have for advancement and flanking and that sort of thing. So that you can get the enemies faster. As you can see on the top of the screen there's a bar for the Japanese and a bar for the Americans, and you can see the Americans is going down further and further because we have more flags than they do. We have 3. There's a 1 neutral just being captured either way, as well as the 1 for the Americans. So it's a little tough to get used to at first, but pretty much you just want to be able to spawn camp the other team and just make them run out of lives faster than yours. And by having them hold either one or no flags on the map, that's going to do it pretty well for you, because they're going to be spawning on their aircraft carrier and they have to get over to you. Okay, so that's pretty much Battlefield 1943. There's some interesting, I mean, it's time settings pretty makes sense because it's like World War II weapons and that sort of thing. As many of you guys probably know, Battlefield 1942, do not quote me on this at all. Battlefield 1942 was one of the first Battlefields, and it was probably one of the biggest until obviously Battlefield 2 came out. And then they moved on to Battlefield Bad Company series. Battlefield Bad Company, I didn't really hear a whole lot about Bad Company after its launch. I heard quite a bit about it when it was coming out because there was a lot of destructible environments and stuff. And keep in mind, when this game was coming out, I was still on the PC, doing PC gaming. So I had played a bit of Battlefield 1942. Didn't really like it too much, except for when you could like put in cheat codes and God mode and that sort of thing, which is pretty much the way I like to play Grand Theft Auto as well. Yeah, I never really owned a PS3, a PS2 to actually play GTA at a, I don't know, what a professional level. I don't know what you want to call that. So, playing Battlefield 1943. So it's sort of like an add-on to the franchise, I guess, suppose, and it's I'm pretty sure it's exclusive. Well, it's exclusive to console, the Xbox and PS3, and it is well worth the price. You get plenty of hours of gameplay out of this. I've played over 100 games in the game now. That's the last achievement I needed to get, was to play 100 games in Battlefield, or complete 100 matches or something like that. So that's why I've been playing it sort of recently. I got Shizzy back into playing it because I asked him to come play with me a couple games to finish off my 100, and it was, I got him back. He's been playing it ever since. That's like every time he gets on, he plays Geometry Wars and then he jumps on Battlefield. So, my thoughts on the franchise, I guess we'll move on to that, because that's more of what we're going to be focused on with the coming months, with all the big first-person shooters coming out in the fall, as well as Battlefield 3. So, my thoughts on the Battlefield franchise overall, I don't really enjoy it for the fact that I don't enjoy the class system in Battlefield. Now, I know you're going to come up with the argument, well, Call of Duty has a class system. Yeah, well, Call of Duty's class system has never been really limiting you. Obviously, you can argue it the other way around, where you have more features because you're a certain class. Like, if you were a medic, you can heal people or kill people with the, like in Battlefield Bad Company 3, Battlefield Bad Company 2, you can actually kill people with the paddles. But just, I think that when you're classifying yourself as something, you're limiting yourself. If you can see what I'm saying. Whenever I go into competitive games with teams and that sort of thing, you never want to try to assign roles, because as soon as you do that, that person is going to be stuck in that role, at least psychologically, and so they're not going to try to venture out of that and start doing other actions and stuff that another teammate would be doing. So it's sort of that mindset. I just don't like having the restriction on me, you know, like the medics can only have this class of weapon, or the snipers are the only ones with snipers, and then they only have a pistol as a secondary, that sort of thing. I just don't like how that system works. I prefer the Call of Duty system, where you get the created class, so that you can create something that suits your game style, and you can create more than one, which allows you to adapt to different situations, that sort of thing. So you change up your role as the game progresses, if need be. So going back to COD 2 though, COD 2 didn't allow you to do create a class. Neither did COD 3, but COD 3 overall was just not a really good Call of Duty game. But let's go back to COD 2, because that was the biggest one and first one on console, biggest one at the time, and the first one on console. It allowed you to pick between different classes that had different weapons in them. So it restricted you in a sense where you only had that certain weapon, but you could change those within the game time and that sort of thing. So it wasn't really as restricting as a Battlefield scenario, because in the Call of Duty scenario there was no special uh, um, features to each of these classes. They were all basically the same class with basically the same perks, quote unquote, the sort of perks that you'd see in a Call of Duty game now, but they were all the same except for the weapons. So you'd pick one of these classes and it would be pretty much even playing field, just like in Halo, potentially, which is another reason I like that versus a Battlefield sort of scenario, because I'm a Halo fanboy at heart. But just, I like having that even playing field. Obviously, besides the weapons, because you can, that's I guess required in a game sort of like this. Whereas in Halo, you have the starting weapons and then you have the pickups. So, but these two games don't really, Call of Duty and Battlefield, don't really have that sort of pickup potential, besides vehicles, obviously, which is another thing I'm not a huge fan of in Battlefield, but I think I can get over it for Battlefield 3 because I have a lot of, it's sort of peer pressure for me because I have a lot of friends who will be playing it as well. Okay, so with that in mind, I never even considered purchasing Medal of Honor because I didn't really. I played the Battlefield Bad Company 2 demo. I never really enjoyed playing that, based on the things I already explained to you. Some of like just the basic like animations in game and stuff didn't really feel right to me, and sort of like the hit boxes and stuff like that didn't feel right to me, and so I didn't really enjoy it that much. So I didn't end up buying the game. And then when Medal of Honor was announced, and then they announced that DICE was going to be doing the multiplayer. DICE is the people who develop Battlefield games. They were going to be doing the multiplayer. I said, I'm not going to buy this game because I don't enjoy their multiplayer experience, so why would I purchase a game with their multiplayer experience? And that pretty much followed through for a lot of people. Not many people enjoyed Medal of Honor, at least that side of it. Okay, so Battlefield, my view on it is that I don't enjoy it as much as some of the other big FPSs out there. I'm going to try my hand at Battlefield 3, just because it's a new, bigger game. The trailers and stuff obviously look cool, like they usually do. But I have a lot of friends who are going to be involved in Battlefield 3, and I think it's a good time to start dabbling in it. And I got back into 1943, so I think just a little bit of a warm-up for the new game, I suppose. But yeah, I enjoy 1943 because it's sort of just like a little fun add-on arcade game that, I mean, it was pretty big at the time, but not a lot of people play anymore, but it's still well worth the money. I felt it's still a fun game, even though it's not really a full one. So, obviously, I'm gonna enjoy some other of the big releases a little bit more, like especially Halo Anniversary. I'm excited to see that again, which might actually tie into Amp's Halo Quest a little bit as well. I'll figure that out once I get my hands on the game. Modern Warfare 3, I'm kind of skeptical at this point on how that's going to turn out, but I think it's going to be a Call of Duty game, so it's going to be solid-ish. at least to start, it's going to be pretty solid. Obviously, exploitation is going to come into a factor, be a big factor in that. So, obviously, there's going to be some big games for competition, but I definitely think I'll be trying my hand at Battlefield 3, and I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. I ended up going 19-1 sniping, kind of camping in their base, but, you know, it's all good.